Hey my lovely YouTubers, welcome back to my YouTube channel with me, your girl Morgan Tracy J, coming today with another morning coffee video, boo. And actually I'm drinking some ginger ale this Monday morning, and I'm actually drinking some ginger ale for this morning coffee because your girl has been sick. I'm actually still, while I'm recording this right now, I'm still finishing up the last bit of my quarantine because guys, almost 2 weeks ago I tested positive for the virus, okay? And I want to just come with this quick video real fast just to tell you some things that we may need to open up our eyes to as women of God and women just going on our everyday life. It caught me by surprise, and it definitely put my life to a halt. It had me praying prayers I ain't prayed in a long time. It had me just at a place where I truly needed God to help me. And so this virus is real, and I think that's one thing I have to say. I knew it was real. I've seen people, I know people who have passed from it, but it hit me at a way that I didn't think it could hit me like that. So let me just tell you real quick. My first signs and my first symptoms was, first thing is, for some few days I woke up with a headache. My stomach, I felt kind of like nauseous a little bit, but I usually do sometimes, like if I didn't eat real well or if I ate too much or something. So I didn't tie any of that to COVID. It wasn't until I started to feel so drained and exhausted. I remember like looking at myself in the mirror and like noticing my eyes look different. And I would be like, gosh, what's going on with me? You know, but it was, thank God to my mom. One day she just was like, Morgan, I think you need to get tested for COVID. And so I did. I drove to a testing place. I got tested, and they said they'll let me know results within 2 hours. And I mean, it was like 15 minutes. They were like, you tested positive for COVID. And I was just kind of like, okay. It was like, at first, because I was still in the beginning stages of it, I wasn't feeling my best, but it hadn't hit me yet. And so I was like, all right. So they tell you you have to quarantine, what you have to do, blah, blah, blah. So that's exactly what I do. And I want to tell you, it's like before I knew it, I was going downhill. I went from like still being able to get up here. I was still working out in my living room. I was taking my dog on a walk. You know, I wasn't touching anything, but I was staying mainly in the house besides taking him to potty and on a walk. And so that was really all I was doing those days. But I started to notice that my breathing was weird. It was like, at first day, I did a good workout. The second day, the workout was so much harder. I noticed going from the bathroom to the kitchen to back to the bedroom to do something, I was feel like I was gonna run out of breath. And so that right there is when I started to notice that, hey, this thing is hitting you a little different. Like it's like my breathing, and I'm still working out right now. I have an inhaler and everything, which I'll get to that. But that's just the beginning stages. I'm like, hold on, what's going on with my breathing? And I could be a little hard-headed too. Like, I just didn't want to go back to the doctor. I didn't want to do it. I'm like, they're going to tell me go home and quarantine. Like, I shouldn't even be out trying to go to no doctor. So, long story short, it was one particular night. I was up very late, and I felt like I could not. If I would go to sleep, I felt like I would quit breathing. Because it was like every few minutes, it was like I had to like try to breathe like that. And I'm like, what the heck? Like I've been working out since January, lost weight, been eating healthy. You know, your girl been on her thing. So I'm like, what's going on? Like I thought I could soldier through this, you know? So anyways, that particular night, I think was the wake up call to me in a way. I remember being in the shower at like taking a hot shower at 3 in the morning, trying my best to breathe. I could not even breathe, like take a deep breath. It was like the worst pain in my chest. My chest was so tight, and like taking a breath like was hurting me. Like just to breathe was crazy. And I just remember feeling so in such a, almost a despair. And I just remember being in the shower and I was praying to God and I was like, please help me. And I ended up getting out of the shower and I laid on my stomach and I kind of just laid down and I ended up falling asleep. I woke up the next morning and I felt a little better, but I did notice that I still could not breathe deep. I couldn't, like how I'm breathing, like I could not do that. It would stop. There would be no more air. It would be this tightness in my chest, everything. So that next morning I talked to my mom. I drive myself to the ER. Long story short, obviously I have COVID, but I also got pneumonia with COVID. So I'm at the doctor and I just finished taking some steroids for my chest. I came to the emergency room because it's been kind of hard to breathe, and last night was really hard to breathe. And so now it's just trying to get better. And so that was a big other factor that comes along with COVID. And so got put on steroids, and I will insert a clip and pictures and stuff like that, just so you guys know I'm being honest about this and that I'm not exaggerating. Like, this thing really shook some things on me. And what I realized is, every day I go to the gym, I'm going on a treadmill, I'm going and walk my dog, and little things like breathing to do these, like, you have to have breath to do these things. It's like when that thing starts diminishing and starts feeling like you can't breathe, you realize all you want to do in life is breathe. Forget everything else. Like, I didn't care about money these last probably 10 days. I didn't care about YouTube. I didn't care about anything. I cared about living my life as best as I could and breathing and getting back to optimal health. And truly, that is just such a wake-up call for me, because there are so many people that have not got to make it through COVID. There are so many people that have lost their lives through COVID. And then there are also many people who have not, and who still talk about COVID like it's not real and it doesn't exist and it's not that big of a deal. And honestly, guys, I never talked about it like that, but I also prayed over myself, and I just felt like I'm good, When reality is, I needed to be taking a lot more precaution. And I think it's also, too, because I seen the world opening back up. So I was opening back up more. I was being willing to go to coffee shops more. I was willing to do certain things more. So I'm not saying I'm going to live my life not doing anything, but I am going to be more cautious. And people ask me, like, Morgan, how did you get it? I have no clue. I wear a mask. I work from home. No one comes to my home. The gym is probably the only other place I could think of, but everything you have to wipe down before you use it and after you use it. So I don't really know where I could have got it from. I could have got it from a grocery store buggy cart, anywhere. But I have to wear masks. We have to wear masks in the state I live in right now. So it's not like that is not something we're doing. And I don't know where I got it from, honestly. But when I do think about it, I just seen how I was not as, like, let me wipe this down. When I get in my car, let me grab my Germex and put the Germex on my hands or whatever. I quit kind of being like that. And so I do know that right now, for me, I push through. I soldier through it, thank God. Thank God for medication and things. But I also know that this, at a 27-year-old that works out, that eats pretty okay, and I was like healthy, eats pretty okay, that takes vitamins, that, does not drink, does not smoke, does not do any form of recreational drugs, anything, for years. I mean, years, guys. For someone like me, for it to hit me like this, I can only imagine what it can do to someone who does have high blood pressure, who does have diabetes, who does smoke, who does have issues within their body. I can only imagine how much harder this could hit someone like that. And so this right here to me was a wake-up call. A wake-up call was, get your health in order, boo. That breath can be gone in a second and you have nothing left, okay? Everything you did here is gone. You leave it here and you go ahead and dip onto heaven. So that being said, I realized, like, get your health together. If you do not have your body, Morgan, you can't do anything. Like, I just was laying on the couch here for 10 days, just like, I need to get up. Like, a part of me was like, you need to be living life. But it's like, my body feels like it got hit by a bus. My head hurts. I can't keep food down. I'm throwing up. It's hard to breathe. Girl, you can't do nothing but get better. And so I feel like that right there was the biggest wake-up call to me, is that, yes, God had got me through it, and I'm so grateful. And I was praying, and I was needing Jesus. I was angry with Jesus, like, what happened, Dad? I was like, what did I do to get this? Like, Daddy, I ain't like, and two, as a Christian, sometimes you could think you did a big sin. So I was like, what big sin did I do to get this? Like, I'm like, Daddy, like, I ain't did nothing. I've been working, I've been grinding, I've been hustling. Like, what's going on? And I remember feeling like upset with God. Like, this is hurting me. Like, I'm literally feel like I get hit by a bus every morning I wake up. From my fingers are hurting, my ankles hurt, my legs hurt, my back hurts, my body hurts, my chest is burning. I can't breathe. I'm struggling to stay awake. It's like I can't have no energy. I could sleep 24 hours a day if I allow myself, which you can't when you have COVID, because that's how you get pneumonia. So, I was trying to do all these things, and what I realized though is, like, sometimes some things happen and it just opens up your eyes, and it's so sad to say, but I needed it. I have been such in a place of work and in my own will and my own vibes and my own mindset, like just doing my own thing, that it's like it didn't dawn on me like this, something can really happen in your life that can shatter your life. Something can come in and shake up the very foundation of what you're standing on, right? And that right there was just such an eye-opener. And right now, even like thinking about, like, I was in bed last night and I could take deep breaths. Like, that's my first time in days being able to take deep breaths. And I just was like so grateful to God. I was just crying. I was like, thank you, God, for my breath. Like, this life is so short, and we're so fragile. And I think that was the big thing, is like, we're so fragile, you know? And everything from the things that I'm creating and building, like, there's gonna come a time where my life I won't be here anymore, you know? And I want to just make sure I live that life so beautiful and so abundant in God. And our lives are just a vapor. And I noticed that. And COVID showed me that this thing is just a vapor. And you better live, boo. Don't be afraid of it. Don't be afraid of death. You know, don't be afraid of those things. But you live your life and you flourish in every way possible. Because just how easy it was for a virus to come and take your breath away, literally. It's just like that. For God can one day say, hey, your time is up. It's time to go. Come on. And you have to leave everything you have built here behind and trust the process next when you go on to be with God. And I think that right there was just such a wake-up call for me, to live my life. And the days where I would see beautiful days and I'd be like, I don't want to go anywhere. I want to stay in the house, or I'm not going to work on that. I'm not going to do like it was so many times I've noticed that I just got so caught up on myself that I did not I wasn't living to my full potential. I wasn't living to get to that next level of Morgan and being that better version. I wasn't doing it. And I think I just got into the rabbit hole of work. So I'm doing a lot of rambling, but what I want to say is I'm so grateful that I'm getting better. By the time you see this, I will be out of quarantine and I will be so happy. And I'm not only just happy to be out of quarantine, I'm happy to be back to feeling more and more like myself every day. I'm happy to being back to that's why I have a ginger ale. Getting Whoa. Getting back to my better self and getting healthy. I have been on so much vitamins. I'm still taking steroids for my lungs. I'm still having an inhaler. I still have some Z-Pat. I still am taking so much stuff, guys. It's crazy. But I am on the up and up. I've been saying that this whole time. And that's one thing about me. I'm very positive. And so even in the process of this virus, I have been every day, like, I'm getting better. I know I'm getting better. Even when I felt like I was getting worse, I still believed I would get better. And I still believed that I was going to get through this virus. And, you know, I didn't know I was going to need to go to the ER. And I didn't know all that extra stuff. But I just knew I was going to get better. And that has been my hope. I literally would lay on my couch, envision myself cleaning out my lungs, like literally like with a little like thing you clean off your windshield wipers with at the gas pump. Like I would see myself in there just cleaning out all the crap out of my lungs, because I know my I know the issue was in my lungs. I couldn't breathe that well. So that right there just shows you just the mindset of being positive and trusting God and saying, you know, Dad, I believe you're going to heal me, but you know, I'm going to go ahead and do some work too. So I did during these days make sure I worked out at least once or twice a day in my living room. It might not have been a hard workout. Some days I just danced until I sweated. Some days I did like a real workout from YouTube and was like mountain climbers and all. Other days, I couldn't do as much because it was harder to breathe. So some days it was stretching. It was trying to get out the aches and the pains in my body. And so I noticed working out really did help me. Taking my dog on a walk helped me. Journaling and praying. I noticed that I got to take care of things in the home that I had not taken care of. Like I hadn't done my spring cleaning. I hadn't taken care of and unpacked some things, and my patio was disgusting. So I revamped it, cleaned it up and everything. It's just, I got time to get my home together, and that was so beautiful. So anyways, I did a whole rant on this, but this stuff is real, y'all. Wear your mask. Even if your state said not to wear a mask, you do not want to get this thing, period. You don't. I literally said, I don't wish this on nobody. I don't. Especially too, I'm 27 years old. I don't drink. I don't smoke. I don't do anything like that. And so I'm not necessarily healthy, but I'm fairly healthy. So with that being said, to go and have to this experience with COVID shows you that if someone who already has other health issues, this can literally take them out, bro. So I just want you to use your wisdom too. You be smart, you protect yourself, but you wear a mask and you protect somebody else too. And so that's my little awareness for COVID, because y'all, this is not a joke. This stuff is real. And I'm just so grateful that not only did God help me through this, but also too that I went to the emergency room when I did. I was trying to be a little hard-headed, like, oh, I'm okay. But I'm really glad I did, because it just showed me, I don't know how many days I could have went without getting to the emergency room with this COVID thing, without getting the extra help I needed for my lungs to breathe. I don't know. And so it just shows you life is so fragile, and we have to live this life. And we should not throw our life. We shouldn't put ourselves in these really crazy situations where we're putting our health at risk. But we also make sure that we're living our life to the fullest. Because if the good Lord had to take me 10 days ago, 9 days ago, I would have been like, Daddy, okay, but you know, I'm still a lot more to do. I wasn't there yet. I wasn't done yet. There's still so much more ideas in me. You know, that book, that I would have had all those things to say to God, like, Daddy, I'm not ready. But sometimes your body is ready. Like sometimes your body can't take the pain anymore. Your body is weak. So that's the goal now, is get your body strong and healthy. Because when you have your body, you have everything you need, and Jesus lives in your body. So it's like you have everything you need. And so I feel like I was neglecting my body many times because I was trying to do everything else. It's like you need your body to survive, boo. And this was just a wake-up call for me. And so I'm back on the YouTube train, you guys. I'm so excited to even say that. I'm excited to record this video. It has been some days, y'all. I have missed y'all, and I have missed it. But I will say I'm so grateful for the work that I do from home and things like that. I didn't have to record videos or anything, and I didn't have to worry financially or anything, because that's just how good God is. And he's a provider. I'm a saver too, but he's a good provider. And so it has just been such a blessing. And so I said all that. I didn't expect the video to be that long. And thank you guys for rocking with me. And I'll see you guys in our next video. Thank you for your prayers. I know a lot of you were messaging me and DMing me wanting to know what was going on. But the days I was going to say, hey, I'm getting better with COVID, like the day before, it was actually the day I had to go to the ER and I couldn't breathe. So I just knew I needed to not focus my energies anywhere but on getting healthier and getting better. So that's what I did. I hope you guys understand, and I will see you in another video. Bye.
This love is an everyday kind of love. Every morning I'm in it. This love is an everyday kind of love. This love